Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing a bonus reading for you guys. You had the highest viewership last week, so I am giving you guys a bonus reading. I hope everybody is doing well. I am going to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Leo out there, so guys, really just take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Please keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, get in where you fit in, but don't push yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? Leo. Leo. All right, Leo, you are starting out with the Five of Swords. You have the Five of Pentacles reversed, and coming out together is the Two of Pentacles reversed along with the Knight of Wands reversed. All right, so it looks like you're in conflict with somebody here. There's change that's coming about through this conflict. It could be somebody that you've had a reconciliation with, because we do have the Five of Pentacles here in the reverse, where we see that you're attempting to regain what has been lost. However, this conflict has caused some imbalance in your life. You may have gone into non-communication with this person, or there could be just things that you feel like you can't really say, or you've decided not to say in the situation. So let's see who's in your energy. You may also be afraid that, because it looks like you're dealing with somebody from the past, you could fear that this person that you're dealing with is a bit of a player as well. All right, so in the person in your energy, we have the Four of Cups, we have the Six of Wands reversed, and we have the King of Wands reversed. Now, you might be dealing with another fire sign, an Aries, another Leo, or a Sagittarius. But I do feel like this person is really focused on, something from the past, possibly a third party, but they look like they're very focused on something here from the past. And so they have an inability to really see what you're offering them at this time. They're not focused on this cup of love that is being given to them. I do feel like this is somebody who's currently not taking any action towards you because they feel like it's just not going to work out. It's not going to be successful. So they could be in some manner like ignoring you currently. Let me see the energy between Leo and this person. Page of Swords reversed. Yeah, it looks like there's after this altercation that the two of you had, there's a lack of communication here. You could be dealing with somebody who, really communicates in a very immature way. There are things that are unknown, though. I feel like you don't really know what this person's up to. They're not really sure what you're up to. There's some distrust that's here on both sides. Let me see what is affecting this connection. Be sure that you're not getting up in your ego, though, because for some of you out there, and if it's not for you, just let it fly. But for some of you, you know, whatever this altercation is could have touched off your ego. So what's affecting the connection is the Tower in reverse. There's a desire to rebuild something that collapsed. It collapsed because it wasn't built on a solid foundation. And I feel like you do want a reconciliation with this person, but only if it's built on a solid foundation. And this person that's in your energy, they also want to rebuild this, but they're kind of being a Debbie Downer. They're a little bit in this negative mind frame. They're basically saying, well, it didn't, work out from before. Everything collapsed from before. It's not going to work out now. So I'm just going to sit over here and not really do anything. So, and there could also be blaming you. That might be what this conflict here between the two of you was about. Because I do feel like this person is kind of blaming you for this connection not working out. Let me see the outcome. Show me the outcome between Leo and this person. The World in reverse. It's not over. There's unfinished business still here. I feel like you feel inhibited, Leo, like there's things you can't say or do. This person's in a negative mindset right now. They're not really taking action towards you. But ultimately, you both do want to rebuild this connection, and you both feel like things are not over, that there is unfinished business. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. This is underlying energy. And what this indicates is that for some of you, there could be a apology. Page of Cups can sometimes be an apology, and it could come from either side. It also indicates for some of you that, you know, this person or you may reach out in a very small but tender kind of way. And for a few of you, that's somebody new that's trying to come into your energy. I don't really see you open to that right now, but we'll see as we clarify. All right, so Spirit, why is the Five of Swords here? Why is the Five of Swords here for Leo? All right, so we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Hangman in the reverse. So yeah, you've waited for quite some time on this connection. Now, you could be going into this person and saying, hey, you know, I really don't want to fight about whatever it was, because with the Hangman in reverse, you're viewing this from a different perspective. I feel like your heart is open. You do have feelings for this person. You may be wondering, well, if I do go in and I do try to make things right with this person, I really don't know how they're going to react or what they're going to do. And I think that's a founded, you know, kind of energy here, because they are kind of in a very negative mindset. It does, excuse me, it does look like it's you approaching them, though, at least in this reading. Let me see why the Five of Pentacles is in the reverse. All right, Two of Swords reversed and the King of Wands reversed. Now, that's their energy. So maybe it's not you, because this is telling me that you do want to reconcile with them, but there's a decision that's been made. You've gone back and forth in your mind. Should I approach them? Should I not? And it's telling me that you're not going to, you've made a decision not to take action towards them. You may be feeling like it's really up to them to try to repair whatever damage has been done here. I do feel like this altercation between you and them has kind of taken you out of your best energy. I do feel like you want to reconcile, but there's a oh, that's weird. There's a decision here to not take action right now. I'm keeping that card because I feel like it was relevant. All right. Yeah, Four of Swords. That's correct. You're being very silent. Three of Swords reversed. And the Seven of Pentacles, or Seven of Wands reversed. So what this is telling me is that you would like to repair this, but you are keeping silent. You're keeping to yourself. You went back and forth in your mind. Should you reach out to them or not? It looks like you're deciding not to. You're kind of holding back to see what this person's going to do. Are they being a player or are they not? Because you're trying to avoid heartbreak. I feel like this person hurt you deeply in the past, and you know, you don't want to go through that again. So it's kind of making you feel a little bit powerless, this whole altercation that you've had with them. And so it does appear that you're kind of holding back, and you're waiting to see what this person's going to do. But you are open to resolving this conflict. I do see that. You don't like being in conflict with this person. So let me see their energy. Show me the Four of Cups. Why is the Four of Cups here? Ace of Swords reversed and the Two of Cups. They do love you. In fact, they feel that you're a soulmate. They do want to reach out, but they're also holding back. And this is why there's a lack of communication between the two of you. You both want to reach out. You're considering it, ultimately decided that you weren't going to be the one to reach out. They're over here doing the same thing. I do feel like there's something here that in the past that has made this person feel a little bit, you know, like it's not going to work out, like things are not going to be successful. They have a lack of clarity about something that occurred in the past. Ultimately, they may reach out though. Let me see. Why is the Six of Wands in reverse? Seven of Swords reverse and the Ten of Wands reverse. So they have trust issues. They have trust issues. They either feel that you did something deceptive in the past, or perhaps they did. Whatever it is, you're both aware of it, and that's what caused this connection to really go down, you know, to collapse here. And so they're looking back at the history. They're looking back at all of that, and it's really triggering them. Something triggered them, and it goes directly back to whatever caused the Tower moment between the two of you. Now, ultimately, I do feel that this person wants to resolve those issues. They want to work things out with you, but they definitely have trust issues here. Why is the King of Wands in the reverse? Why is the King of Wands in the reverse? All right, we have the Hermit reversed. We have the Chariot. Yeah, they're going to come towards you. So they're getting their thoughts together, Leo. They're taking a little break. They're doing some soul searching. They're trying to figure out how they can go about resolving this. And once they do figure that, that's why they're not taking action. And they're also there's this energy of them kind of placing blame. This person likes to blame instead of taking accountability. So there's a little bit of that going on as well. And I do feel like that makes you feel pretty powerless. I do see that for some of you, you are a little bit in your ego as well. So I don't know what occurred here, but I will tell you this person is looking back at the past. They definitely have trust issues, but I feel like they are going to reach out. They want to, you want to. Ultimately, after a break in the communication, this person's going to find the answers that they need. They are going to reach out towards you. They're going to, for some of you, they're coming to see you. So especially if they live at a distance, you could expect a pop-up surprise from this person. But their goal really is to work things out. It truly is. They may have ghosted you in this whole process too, which is very immature. But we do see that there's immature communication between the two of you. Now, you could be dealing with a Gemini, a Cancer sign, a Virgo. Let me see the energy between Leo and this person. Okay, so we have the Hierophant reversed, and we have the Four of Wands reversed. You may have been married to this person or in a long established connection. You're both very focused on how this ended though. I feel like more in your energy, you're trying to look at it from a different perspective. But I do feel like there's some conflict here. And it could be because the conflict is either causing both of you to kind of pull back and not really commit to the connection, or there's conflict about what caused the ending of this connection to begin with. There's definitely feelings of mistrust, particularly on this person's side, but also I see a little on yours. And so you're both kind of pulling back and you're like, I don't know. This person's saying it's not really stable. You're saying, I'm not sure I want to commit to this. Let me see what's affecting the connection right now. And there could have been a lot of things that neither of you were actually talking about. And those things are now coming out. All right, we have the King of Swords reversed. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And again, we have that Six of Wands reversed. So I do feel like a lot of you guys feel that there are things you can't open up and you can't talk to this person about. You may even feel that this person's not being genuine or not being very honest with you. I do feel like, you know, there was some energy here in the past where you felt like this person was doing things that were deceptive. And so I feel like you feel that there's a sense here of powerlessness, Leo. Like you feel that you can't really open up and have an honest conversation with this person because whatever you say is going to cause a huge fight. It's going to cause this another tower moment. So this person in your energy, they have been triggered. They have all these distrustful, issues, and they feel like you're not telling them the truth. So I really feel it's difficult. I can see it's difficult to sit down and have an honest conversation with this person because everything seems to trigger them. So, they're trying to avoid another tower moment as well. And I do feel like they're a flight risk, basically. This person feels like they want this connection, they want to rebuild it, but if things don't go the way they want, then they just go back into the past and they're triggered, and that makes them a flight risk. So let me see the outcome. And they are very negative in their thinking. So that can be very frustrating, and that's likely where this sense of powerlessness is coming in. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, we have the Page of Pentacles, and then we have the Ten of Coins reversed. Okay, so in the outcome, neither of you feel like this is over, but there is some stuck energy that's here. On both sides. I feel like you're going to open up a little bit. You're going to let this person know, that you're going to communicate here that, hey, holding on to the past is and not talking things out, not being able to communicate things it's causing a lack of balance in this connection. I feel like you're going to let this person know, look, I don't really want to get hurt either. So I feel like you're going to kind of approach this. You're going to approach it, it looks like, in a very gentle, minor way. But I do see you approaching it because there's a lot that you haven't been able to open up and talk to this person about. And I feel like whatever this stuck energy is, you're gonna basically say, look, we need to go slow here. So in their energy, this person, I do feel like they are going to come towards you with communication. They do want to work things out with you, but I feel like they are very distrustful, and they're trying to avoid, things just blowing up all over again. So that's why they're a flight risk. That's why they're kind of removed a little bit. With the Ten of Pentacles here in the reverse, this person is, a little bit stuck thinking about the losses from the past. There's a feeling that they feel that you're not loyal to them. And I'm not saying any of that's true. I'm saying this person is also going to communicate their feelings to you. They may feel unsupported. They may feel like they don't want to lose you, but they don't know how to move forward also. And I do feel like this person is feeling, they could be having some financial difficulties they may discuss. They could also be feeling a lack of support from close friends or family right now. This is somebody who does tend to do a lot of thinking, but I don't think that thinking is really their best friend at this particular time. All right. Now, for a few of you, like I had said earlier, there is somebody new that is coming into your energy, and I do feel that some of you may be moving towards someone new, which is your prerogative. If so, this person in your energy is going to feel a huge loss over you doing that, you moving towards that person. Bottom of the deck, again, we have the Page of Swords in the reverse, underlying energy. So that was the card that was between the two of you. And so I do feel like there are things that are not being said. There's trust issues. There's a feeling of, they're not telling me the truth. They're feeling like perhaps you're not telling them the truth. But ultimately, there's a lot that needs to be discussed here. And it seems to be very sensitive. And so the lack of communication with that is what's creating this stuck energy. So it's kind of a little bit of a difficult thing, but I do see you more so willing to approach that and to, try to work things through. So I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. I'm using my Foxfire deck. I really like this oracle deck. Okay, so you have number 24, and it's called Delight. So let's read that, Leo. Hold on just a second. All right, it says, you are now the kitsune are happy to share with you in the midst of a moment of beauty. It is joyful, fun, uplifting, and you will feel so much happiness. For some people, this may seem trivial, that enjoyment and good times are not as serious as those moments when we walk with the shadows and discover more about our deeper aspects. This is not that time. This is now a time to come into the light, time to allow the moments of joy, the lightness of being, that graceful state to be ours too, to have humor and play, music and sweetness all about us, and to laugh and be free. And this is the energy this card brings to you now. To be light, to be joyful, to be as the music from the flute is, high and light and sweet, and to know that every note has its moment and will pass. As you enjoy this time and smile with pure uplifting energy shining from you, others will open up and feel this way too. It will be a simpler time, an easier time, a time when the heaviness of the world falls away and you are ensouled, but in the most sparkling and naturally happy of ways. You will find others to share your happiness with, and it will be like a ripple upon water, spreading out and influencing many. And the world needs this joy. And this is the gift of the Kitsune realm to you, a springtime for your soul. The Kitsune adore music and fun and dance and joy. Let no one tell you that you are not serious enough. Let no one try to hold down your joy. Bubble up like spring beneath the earth and shine out into the world. Yeah, so let yourself be happy. Let yourself enjoy those small moments with friends, with family, with this person. Just allow yourself those brief moments of joy, because you need them and the world needs them. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you, Leo. If you have resonated with this reading, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Leo, know that you are love, and namaste.